That is terrible to have to do to your family. I ended up telling my parents that I am leaving for Indonesia.
Tata and James are genuinely made for one another. And this episode, we're gonna see the reasons why. Welcome to Cheese Corner. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's cover this episode of 90 Day Fiancé the other way.
I'm so happy, finally together.
So Josh finally arrives and he is extremely happy to be there. He's even crying while looking at Lili. Lili is touching his face, super excited to see him. And then when they go inside and Lili starts showing Josh around the house, one of the first things that he shows him is the fridge. Josh opens it and he's like, no ice cream.
I have no money, no food.
And I'm just like, how do you have money for all of these luxury things, but you don't have money for food? She goes around showing him more things, an elevator, all the luxury things inside the house. And every time that she shows something to Josh, he laughs. He's like, and I think it's just a nervous laugh that I would even have, because a lot of the things right here are unnecessary and I can't afford them to save my life.
Hard work, a lot of money.
I know you put a lot into it,
Yes.
and I appreciate it.
Lili, girl, you have to stop reminding Josh that you spent so much money on all of these renovations. The constant talk of money over and over again seems like you're rubbing it in his face. Now, Josh and Lili are on their way to check out the outfits for the wedding, and in the car, Josh shares that he is extremely excited because he has always loved Chinese culture, the outfits, everything related to it. And not only that, but also the food. And guess what food they're gonna have at their wedding.
So she actually ordered turtle soup. That was one of the dishes that, I requested. So I'm looking forward to that day.
Have you guys ever had turtle soup? And if you have, is it good? Tell me, I want to know. So they arrived to the wedding shop and Lili, it says that one of her main goals for this wedding is to make it resemble the Tang Dynasty. And she wants her guests that when they arrive, they get taken back to that time. So they're looking around the wedding dresses. She wants a very specific one, Chinese style dresses. Once they get to a specific section, she sees this red one that she just loves. Like, it's just beautiful. And she realizes,
Decide this one, we are pay money.
so she turns around to Josh and she's like, do you like this one? Do you like this one? And he's like, yeah, I like it. But then when she says that they're gonna have to pay money, Josh goes, I'm gonna let you decide that. The moment they put on the outfits, they fall in love with it. They really, really, really love it. Now, they have a disagreement right here where Josh is saying that she's the one that wants the traditional Chinese wedding, and Lili is saying that he's the one that wants it. So they're going back and forth. No, you want it. No, you want it. No, you want it.
I think you want to special wedding in China.
You said you want a wedding, so I said okay.
I think that Josh does want the wedding, and maybe he said it passively, maybe like, I love Chinese traditions, I love Chinese weddings. Like, we have heard him say that.
假使他跟我说他想感受一场
But I do believe that the moment that Josh found out how much it was gonna be, he probably didn't want it anymore, and Lili is now the one pushing for this. When Josh realizes how much Lili loves this gown, he decides that he's going to use the money that he got from selling his home to pay for the gown. So, bravo, well done. After he says that, Lili is like, are you sure? Do you have money? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure.
You will pay? You will pay money?
Yes.
I have no money.
And Josh becomes frustrated. At least he's not telling her, but he does say in his confessional.
One of my fears coming to China, that she's gonna keep throwing it in my face every day, and it's coming true.
And I could totally see this being a huge issue because he's telling you right now that he's able to afford paying for the extra money and you're still questioning him. Now we're moving on to Shekinah and Sarper. Shekinah is getting ready in the restroom. Sarper walks in.
And Sarper's not the only one who went without sex for 3.5 months, and I find him so hard to resist.
Do you guys really think that Sarper has been celibate for 3 months and a half because I don't buy it one bit. Then Sarper looks at Shekinah and he goes, Shekinah, I got something to show you. Come here. So he takes her outside and there's this wall, okay, in his bedroom. And there's this corner that's incredibly dirty compared to every other corner in this house. And he's like, you see this wall? This wall right here, this corner right here. I have been scratching my back with this wall every chance I get because I respect you, Shekinah.
The length of these hairs are proof of my love to you, you know?
What are you talking about? Because to him, the fact that he is not allowing other women to wax him or scratch his back shows Shekinah that he cares about her and that he's serious about this relationship. So he lays down and then he's like, Shekinah, are you disgusted by my hairy back? And Shekinah's like, no, I'm not disgusted by it one bit. Like, I love you, Sarper. I love you. And Sarper's like, well...
Yeah, I imagine you pooping sometimes, you know that? I never get disgusted. I never get disgusted of you.
Good. I love your farts and your burps. I even track your period because I love it. And the thing is that I don't necessarily find this situation weird whatsoever compared to like Kyle, because that's just how they are. And he's not doing it in a way of like, oh, I'm trying to get you pregnant, or oh, I'm just a creep that just met you, but I'm trying to track your cycle. And then she asks him, have you told your family about our K1 process? And he's like, no. Well, why haven't you told him? And he tells her that he does not want to move to the United States. And the reason why he doesn't want to move is because once he gets there, he's not going to be allowed to work for a good amount of time.
If you make any expenditures for us, I feel indebted to you.
That's the last thing he wants to feel, because we already know that he loves being a controlling man, and having to rely on Shekinah is not on his 2024 bingo card. And as we know, Shekinah cannot stay in Turkey forever because her daughter has to see her in the US. So I'm very excited to see what this is gonna be like, because Sarper does not want to move and Shekinah does want to move.
So if the visa's approved, what are we gonna do?
I don't have any clue.
Now we're moving on to Statler and Dempsey, and Statler is letting us know that even though they were sure, she was able to get an advance from her job, and now she's gonna be able to upfront those 6,000 pounds that they need for the ban.
As soon as I arrive in England tomorrow, we're picking up the van and we're starting our new life together.
And I was under the impression that they already have the ban. Like, didn't we see the ban a couple episodes ago? But I guess they don't have it yet, or maybe it was under repair or something. You know, she's saying bye to all her appliances. Is difficult for her to let go of things like this. Now her friend Natalia is helping her move all her stuff, so she's helping her gather everything around.
I took out a loan.
You took out a loan.
I took out a loan.
In your name? By yourself?
In my name, by my lonesome.
And then she asks her, what did Dempsey do? So she explains to her that she sold her caravan, and that's how she was able to get some money to pay for all of this.
Less than what I'm contributing, but
You're keeping your job, right? Your
Yes.
job. What's she gonna do?
Dempsey's not gonna have a job because she had to quit. Her job is not remote. I don't know what she's going to be doing, but she doesn't have a job. So that means that Statler is the breadwinner, and she does not want to do that.
I do feel a bit jealous, and I'm hoping I don't feel resentful.
You know, it's like I told you guys, she's gonna feel resentment towards Dempsey because all of these things that she's doing, she does not want to do. She does not want to move into a van, and she's still going to do it. So she's already thinking, you know, Dempsey's gonna be able to travel, Dempsey's gonna be able to enjoy Europe, Dempsey's gonna be able to do all of these things while she is stuck in the van working.
So that's gonna suck.
Girl, are you sure this is what you want to do in life? Because you do not seem excited one bit. So her friend tells her, have you noticed that you tend to make yourself small and then give up everything and do everything for people when you're in a relationship because you're afraid of rejection? And she's like, well, I am afraid of rejection. And then she tells us that it stems from the fact that when she was a baby, her mom gave her up for adoption.
It's not so much being adopted, but I think being relinquished, it definitely affected my self-worth.
And since then, she has this shadow behind her telling her that she's not good enough for anyone and that everyone's going to reject her and that no one's going to love her. And it was so difficult to listen to her say all of this because it just makes you think, you know, how many people are out there that are adopted and that suffer from situations like that. Like, does it change if your adopted parents are good to you or if they're bad to you? Does everyone feel like that?
If the one person who's supposed to like love me doesn't, then of course everyone else isn't going to.
I wasn't given up for adoption, but the moment that my father stepped out of my life, it definitely did make me feel like I wasn't good enough to be loved and I wasn't good enough for anyone else, that if he could walk away, then anyone else will walk away. So I totally understand where she's coming from. The day is finally here. Now, Natalia is driving Statler to the airport, and Statler also tells us that she actually had a panic attack yesterday because of how stressful everything has been, and she's just scared. After she spent enough time thinking about what her bestie said, she is now hesitant about the situation.
Like, she couldn't do this on her own. She couldn't afford this on her own.
You know, she does give up everything. She gives everything to a person when she's in a relationship, and she has one of her past relationships to show for that. Because according to her, she says that when she was in this relationship, her partner lied to her and told her that the rent was a specific amount of money, and it wasn't true. And then it turns out that at the end, Statler was paying almost probably 80% of the rent while the other person wasn't.
She got to save money to buy a house, and I was broke by the end of it.
They arrived to the airport. Natalie is saying bye to Statler, and she's telling her, you know, like, I know I was a little harsh yesterday with my concerns, but I'm here to tell you today that you deserve the best. You deserve for this to work out. You deserve for things to be great. You deserve to find a good person in your life.
Not everything goes badly. You deserve good, wonderful things.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful to see how, like, you know, her friend shared her concerns and told her what she doesn't agree with and share the things that might go wrong in the situation. But right now, what she needs the most is a supportive person that tells her, you're gonna be okay, it's gonna be fine. And that's where we left off with her. And now we're moving on to our favorite disaster couple, Tata and James. James is saying bye to his dog. He's gonna leave it with some friends while everything is sorted out and he can finally take him to Indonesia. He tells us that he finally told his family that he is moving to Indonesia forever. And it did not go well.
It went about as bad as it could go. Mom was just saying how she's not happy about it. It's really short and last minute.
Maybe you should have told your parents the moment you knew you were moving to Indonesia. You think about that?
We just left like this.
I'm sorry that we did it this way.
You're sorry that you guys did it this way? You were the one that made that decision to not tell your family because Tata did wanted to tell them, but you chose not to. At least, well, you said you make that decision. Even Tata said, and you didn't disagree with her on that. James says that his mom was extremely sad and his dad didn't even say a word. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't even want to talk to him. This is the second time you do this with zero notice and you expect everyone to just shake your hand, give you a hug and say, see you later, when you're living the entire family business in shambles. His friend is gonna go drop him off so he can go to Indonesia. And while they're in the car, James is telling us that not only is he going to be living with Natalia's parents, he's gonna be living under a roof with 8 more people.
I abandoned them again. So if I have to come back, I would be coming back to nothing.
I think it's funny that you keep reminding yourself that you abandoned your family, but all of this could have been avoided if you just told them sooner. James is still under the impression that the banana chip business is going to work out for them. Yeah, he's still very delusional. Now we check in with Tata and she looks incredible. She looks so happy, she's glowing. It's like a whole different person. And then she tells us that she actually went to see a doctor here in Indonesia, and they gave her some herbal medicine.
Swollen is getting smaller, and I feel so much better.
Wasn't that possible here in the United States? Like, you could have called your mom and been like, Mom, can you please go to the doctor in the village and do a video call, and then we can talk and I can tell him my symptoms, and then he can send me some herbal medicine, or maybe I can find it over here. This is the perfect weather. She loves Indonesia, and I could understand her when it comes to that, because where she's living is just snow and it's cold, and I wouldn't want to be there. Indonesia is so sunny, it's so bright, there's people everywhere. It's a different vibe.
Everybody worry about me because they still think that I'm just little.
You do act like you're a child, so that's probably why they treat you that way. Natalia also tells us that now she's helping her sister sell flavor ice, which costs 16 cents, and that's how she's getting paid.
And there's no money in here.
So yeah, the business is going great. I mean, it's doing amazing. and that's not the only thing. There's another problem. For a second, I thought that James was a little bit more on the crazier, irrational child side, but it turns out that they're just perfect for one another.
My family, they think I just visit for a month.
And the worst part is that she wants to stay with her parents. She is really hoping that what she's about to tell them is gonna be good news. She thinks that this is completely different because, you know, she thinks that her family is gonna be extremely excited to have her stay here. So she's gonna tell her sister first and see if she has any tips, any advice that she can give her. So when she tells her parents, it's not so shitty. And when she tells her sister's like, I hope you're not staying with our parents, right? Because that's gonna be a burden on them. And then you have James that doesn't like being told what to do. And then you have your dad who likes telling people what to do. So I hope that's not the case, right? And she's like, well, we don't have any money, so we have to stay with them. Why are you even doing this? Here, you are barely making minimum wage. James was definitely making way more money over there. You don't have a place to stay. He doesn't know the language. He doesn't know the culture. Why are you making this decision? But she's just hoping that her parents are gonna be okay with this and that there's gonna be zero issues. Yay! And for the preview, we are actually going to get Tata's parents upset because James has not given them a child. Corona is going to be a little upset because she says Inky kissed her like he kisses his grandma. Are we kissing our grandma in the mouth? And Shekinah is going to be with a woman that claims Sarper said he loves her.
He said he loved you also.
I bet.
And that's all we get for this episode. For the questions, do you guys think that Statler is going to be disappointed when she moves in with Dempsey? Do we think that Lili is going to keep telling Josh that she spent a lot of money on him? And what do we think Tata's parents' reaction is going to be when they find out that they're moving with them? I would love to know what you guys think. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will also like to thank my members, Katie, Angel, and Happy One 2017. Thank you so much, guys, for being here, and I hope you have an amazing day. See you guys next time. Bye.